Honorable Minister for Tourism, Culture and Donor, Shri Kishan Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister of State for Industry and Commerce, Srimati Anupriya Patel Garu, Mr. Amit Yadav, Dr. Shrikar Reddy, representatives of various export promotion councils, officials of commerce ministries, my colleagues from Telangana government, senior representatives of domestic industries here in Hyderabad. My greetings to all of you. On behalf of the Minister for Industries, Shri K.T. Ramarao, and on behalf of the Telangana government, I would like to congratulate Commerce Ministry for the successful conclusion of this very landmark free trade agreements with United Arab Emirates and Australia. I would also like to offer our compliments, particularly to Mr. Amit Yadav and Dr. Shrikar Reddy for playing such a pivotal role in the successful conclusion of these negotiations. We all know that in the grand vision of India becoming a $5 trillion economy, exports are going to play a very important role. And it is anticipated that almost more than 20-25% of this $5 trillion size of the economy will be contributed through our exports. In Telangana also, the state government has been giving a major emphasis on improving our export competitiveness. And if you look at the performance of exports over the last 7 years, the numbers are indeed very remarkable. In 2015-16, the state clocked exports worth about 35,400 crores. 7 years down the line in 21-22, we don't have complete data of 21-22. The figures are only till February. I'm sure when March data is added, because lots of data is recorded in the month of March, the numbers will be even more impressive. But from 7 years ago, when our numbers was 35,400, we have now reached a number of 73,700 crores. So we have almost doubled. And as I said, if we wait for one more month's data, I'm very confident that it will be touching close to 80,000 crores. This is just the merchandise export, by the way. We all know the kind of software exports which happen from Hyderabad. I don't have to tell you that we are registering year after year after year the highest growth rates in software exports. Our numbers now touch close to 1,45,000 crores. And again, when this year's numbers come, typically on June 2nd, which is our state formation day, we publicize these numbers. I'm very confident that there'll be a very significant increase over last year figures. But again, as I said, these numbers have not happened organically, just by themselves. The state government has a very clear strategy. It has made very concrete interventions in the last 6-7 years to improve our export performance. We have identified which are the important sectors of export, what kind of push are required. We have created new infrastructure. Many very significant infrastructure at scale is in the offing to support the pharmaceutical and life sciences and the biotechnology industry. The state government is setting up a new pharma city spread over 15,000 acres. Similarly, textiles, gems and jewelry, engineering products, mining, food processing. In every sector, whatever is the key infrastructure that was missing in the past, we have taken steps to ensure that all these are provided. I'll just give one short example. In fact, about 15 days ago, I was privileged to join our minister, Mr. K.T. Ramarao, to inaugurate a facility where medical devices are manufactured. This is a company which manufactures life-saving stents. This is actually a a company from Gujarat, but they preferred to set up their facility in Telangana over Gujarat. And every component that they manufacture, it is incidentally, Asia's largest facility. The phase 1 was inaugurated by us, as I mentioned. And when the phase 2 is also completed in another 9 months, it will become world's largest stent manufacturing facility. And every stent which is manufactured there is meant for exports. And the reason why they decided to come to Hyderabad is because they felt that the kind of talent which is required to do such cutting edge, such precision focused work is found in abundance here in Hyderabad. They also appreciated the logistics infrastructure. We have, while ours is a landlocked state, but in the last 7 years, we have taken lots of steps to improve our logistics infrastructure. And today we have very good infrastructure towards both the eastern coast as well as towards the western coast to provide quick movement of goods which are meant for exports. But as I said, there are many other areas where we have identified where infrastructure is further required. We are improving the cold chain system to improve our vaccines being exported, food processes, food products getting exported. We have also found that in the last 7 years, many new players have joined this trend of exporting their goods and services. But we are confident that we can add many more new players into this spectrum. New countries have also been identified, as was mentioned by Madan Mohan Reddy Garu. Our pharma products reach 120 countries. Our IT exports reach 68 countries. But there are many other countries also, many other new geographies also, which we need to explore. And I'm very grateful that all the export promotion councils support us in a big way whenever they have to organize trade shows, etc. First of all, we ourselves host many of such events in Hyderabad. But whenever they are organizing something outside Hyderabad also, they give us a chance to come and speak and present. So I'm grateful to all the export promotion bodies. I have a couple of asks since Honorable Minister of State, ma'am, is here, and also Amit ji and Dr. Shikar are here. One thing which has been bothering us from the very beginning is that because we are a landlocked state, many of our exports have to eventually reach the ports which are located elsewhere and then get the exports closed from that particular destination. In that process, we feel that lots of the export which actually originates from Hyderabad or Telangana gets reported in some other state. So we are actually performing much more than what the numbers show, and particularly the rice exporters and all the food commodities from Nizamabad and elsewhere. They keep telling this, that finally when the records are taken, they're shown as Andhra Pradesh exports or maybe Maharashtra exports, which is not very fair. So we'll have to find some solution in which the exports which actually originate from Telangana should come in Telangana's tally. And of course, the numbers are fine, whether we report 73,000 or 500,000. We know within ourselves that we are doing well. But if the accuracy of those numbers are there, we'll be even happier. The second point which I wanted to mention was that few months ago, Commerce Secretary Sir was here. He had organized an exporters meet, and we had all participated in that, where we had recognized that there are many other issues also which relate, for example, to the ministries of railways and Food Corporation of India, the Central Warehousing Corporation, and so on, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So lots of Government of India agencies also need to provide support to the exporters of the state. So when Union Commerce Minister was here, their representatives had also come, and we were able to get at least some conversation going with all of them. But if some forum is organized in which we get the Government of India representatives regularly, we will be able to resolve all these issues over a time-bound, actionable manner, and our performance will become even better. So once again, I urge all the industry partners from Telangana to make use of this opportunity provided for the UAE and Australia. UAE, in fact, I mentioned a while ago the numbers of 2015-16. I was looking at the disaggregate of those 35,400 crores export. Of course, USA is the biggest number. Followed in that year, UAE was number 3. But when I saw this year's number, I found that China and Russia have overtaken UAE. UAE from Telangana has become number 4. So now that a new window of opportunity has been created, let us ensure that we export more and more to UAE. And as Mahesh ji has pointed out, there are lots of cultural similarities between UAE and Hyderabad and Telangana. So we should be able to make use of the diaspora, etc. Australia is a relatively kind of a new territory, but I can share this with all of you. In fact, in the couple of years preceding this pandemic, we had started some very fruitful dialogues, both at the ministerial level and business level, with Australian governments, Australian chambers, etc. And post this pandemic, the last month or couple of months or so, some dialogue has restarted now. So there is lots of willingness in Australia to identify opportunities in India. Few years ago, there was a High Commissioner from Australia called Peter Varghese, who has prepared a report targeted for Australian companies on which are the best states of doing business in India. They have identified 10 states, and Telangana figures quite prominently in his report. So let us make use of this favorable ECTA, which has been signed, and ensure that we reach out to Australia as well. But once again, I'm happy that this outreach program to the states has started from Hyderabad here, and our industry has responded in very large numbers through your participation today. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Shikhar Garu, for organizing it. అందరి తరఫున మీకు మరి ఒకసారి కృతజ్ఞత. Thank you very much.